Okay, you were supposed to pick two. I'm going to start with the mild first. Okay, so I got to isolate the radical first always, so I'm going to subtract 2 first to get 9. How do we get rid of a square? We got to take the, get rid of the square root is to square both sides, so that's what I'm doing right now. I get 81. The square and the square root cancel, so I'm left with 80p plus 1. I'm going to solve for p, so I'm going to subtract first, divide, so p here is 1. Again, I'm not going to go through it, but you should check the equation to make sure when you plug in 1 that it equals 11. Okay, let's see, spicy. Okay, to isolate this one here, I need to get rid of the 6. How is the 6 attached to the square root of 9x? By multiplication. So the opposite is to divide. Different than the mild one. So I'm left with square root of 9x to equal 3. Now I'm going to do what I did before. We talked about this. Got to square both sides to isolate. I'm left with 9x to equal 9. X is 1. Okay, for the hot one, it's already isolated, so I'm just going to square both sides. So this extra spicy one is a little bit difficult. The square root 4p plus 57 is already isolated, so I am going to square both sides. The right-hand side becomes 4p plus 57. The left now, please remember that you need to write this twice. P plus 3 times p plus 3. Then you need to go through your FOIL or your grid board. And when I do my FOIL, I get p to the second plus 3p plus 3p plus 9. I combine my two like terms here, and I get p to the second plus 6p plus 9 to equal the right. All right, this is the one that leads to factoring. So I'm going to subtract 4p. Got p to the second plus 2p's plus 9 equals 57. Then I'm going to subtract 57. Okay, and I get p to the second plus 2p minus 48 equals 0. So this is an equation that I need to solve for p. So I'm going to factor this trinomial. This is the one where you're looking for the factors of negative 48 that add up to positive 2. So I believe those two numbers are positive 8, right, and negative 6. Those multiply to negative 48 and add up to positive 2. So I'm going to put p plus 8, p minus 6 to equal 0. Both of these are equaling 0. So I'm going to separate them, make them equal to 0. Subtract the 8. So I get p to equal negative 8. Add 6. I get p to equal 6. Oops. Oopsies. Okay, so we need to, so this is the one where I have to check both numbers here to see if they're both good. So I rewrote the original equation, and now replacing negative 8 for p, both spots. Okay, so negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5 to equal, under the square root, let's multiply. 4 times negative 8 is negative 32 plus 57. When I add those numbers together, I get 25. Now, what is the square root of 25? It is plain old 5, which does not equal negative 5. So this is one of those extraneous solutions here. So that one's no good. So let's try 6. Plugging in 6 for both spots of p. 6 plus 3 is 9. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 57. You get the square root of 81, which is 9, which is exactly what we have on the left. So the correct answer you should give me is that p is 6.